Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Facebook Live today. I am Laurie Gerber, head coach at Handel Group Life Coaching. Welcome back. We haven't been on live for a while, but I'm very excited for my resurgence here. I'm going to introduce you to Olivia June in a moment, but first I'm going to introduce what this is about, and I'll introduce Olivia to what we are doing here, which is debunking your dumbass theories. Okay? One of the most profound things that happened for me in doing Handel coaching was that for the first time, I have done years of personal growth before I found the Handel method, years of yoga, meditation, gurus, therapists, books, everything. And nobody had really ever done a very good job just talking back to my BS and really arguing with me, because I'm a good talker. I'm pretty good at arguing. I have a lot of good ideas, and I think I'm very smart and can be very dominating. And so nobody had ever really stood up to my really negative ideas vis-a-vis myself and the things I wanted in my life until I met Lauren Handel Zander, and she started arguing with me about my feelings about healthy food, how I thought I should treat my husband, how I thought I should treat my family members, and she debunked some of my utterly dumbass theories, like healthy food doesn't taste good. What? Okay, so I was so excited about that nuance to this coaching method that I decided I wanted to try to hit every single area of life that people have dumbass theories about, that we need to argue with, that we need to shake up and question and reinvent for ourselves newly, not based on our culture, not based on society, not based on our parents, not based on blah, blah, blah. Then I miraculously met Olivia June. So Olivia June is the CEO and founder of Havina, which is a massive massive site for women to meet friends. Okay. It started in 2016. It's backed by NEA, by Greylock, by Tinder. It's taken the world by storm. It has so far connected 8 million people. It's on 158 countries, which is pretty amazing. So this is an expert in friendship. And I never even thought I'd meet an expert in friendship. I thought, okay, I'll get people to talk about health and body and love and all the usual topics. But then miraculously, this woman spoke up at a conference that I was in and made herself known. And I thought, oh, this is meant to be. I need a friendship expert here to help me debunk the dumbass theories that people say. So that's Olivia. Olivia has been at the intersection of health and technology for years. That's been her whole career, is, trying to marry the benefits of technology with our health needs. And as a society, we know that technology can often get in the way of our health needs. So she's finding ways to have technology help us with our health needs, which I'm very gratified and excited about. Okay, Olivia June, what do you want to say before I say more? Do you want to say anything by way of introduction, or why you said yes to this?
I'm actually, there are actually lots of people out there who are friendship experts. We've established a medical advisory board at Vina where we have 10 of the top researchers, psychologists, and physicians who look at the role of our social connections in our lives. And so I learned so much from them, as well as, a lifetime studying of social psychology and how we connect and organize and build relationships as people. And so I'm so passionate about this. And this is a mission that is so important for us to be looking at. We often look at our friendships as the icing on the cake of our lives, as opposed to an essential part of our well-being. And so I'm really happy to dive into these theories with you.
Okay, awesome. And you just reminded me one of the other reasons I got so excited about having you on the Facebook Live, which is, I think within the first 5 minutes of chatting with you, you taught me 3 things I didn't know. So I need, I want this. I want this woman. She clearly has an advisory board that's teaching her things, and that's lucky for us. So the main misconception that I find, and I really find this, I travel around and do workshops all the time. This seems to be ubiquitous, that people think that other people who are grown-ups or at a certain age, people have stopped looking for friends. Like, that's literally their excuses. Like, nobody wants me. Nobody cares. Please debunk.
Well, we actually have found that most people have started losing friends at around the age 25. We start weeding out our friends. We actually lose more friends than we gain every year after 30. And this is actually not because that's something we want necessarily. It's something that organically happens through our lives. There's attrition. And that's because we get busy, we, move, we go in and out of relationships, we change jobs, We have shifting lifestyles, and the people who we spend time with and maybe that we grew up with or we're friends with, their lives aren't necessarily going to keep exact pace with ours. And that's luckily something we have in our society today. But it's something where people of all ages are looking for new relationships and new friendships, particularly. And so it's really, I asked this conference the other day, I was giving a talk, I said, who in the room knows what lonely feels like and has felt it in the, last 6 months? And everyone in the room raised their hands. And this is a room full of hundreds of people. And I told everyone, look around, look at the people who are in this room. Everyone else has shown up because they want to meet more people. They want to add more people into their lives. And so this is something we need to, really get over, that we're not the only ones that feel this. And I think that's one of the core things of being lonely, is you feel like you're the only one.
Right. I always feel like it's my job to inform the public of what the public is saying and thinking, and because it is weird that we don't talk to each other about it. And we seem to not realize that if it's happening to us, it's probably happening to other people. And really, I find we think that community and friendship is one of the main areas of life. We say that there are 12, and you can't, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. It's an area of life, and everybody has to deal with it, and everybody cares about it, and everybody wants it. And as you said, I always try to remind people when they say there are no good men in this town, because people have the same complaints about dating, right? I go, but you understand at every moment people are dying and getting divorced, right? Like the scene is changing at every moment. So you really can't say anything is a particular way. So I love what you said, because it's such a good perspective. Of course, people are losing friends and changing friendships and changing friendship needs at all times. So there's always a fresh crop, always. Yeah. Awesome. And then there's getting better at choosing, which is a whole other topic I like to explore. Okay. So it's okay. Now, if I've convinced you, bless you. If I have blessed you, your face is just like mine. I love it. Okay. If we can get someone over the hump of other people do want friends. Okay, there is a sea out there. There are fish. There's at least 8 million on Havina, right? So there are fish in the sea. Now help me get over my next complaint, my next bratty thought or chicken thought, which is, it's hard, Olivia. It's hard. I'm a grown-up. I don't know how to talk to somebody new. It's awkward and hard. Please help me get over this issue.
Well, I think the reason we feel like it's hard is because we have some expectation that it's supposed to be easy. And so everyone is like, we're supposed to be so easy. Why am I bad at it? I'm the only one that's bad at it. And it's absolutely not the case, where it is, it's challenging to build relationship. It takes time. It takes effort. You have to show up. You have to put in the work. It's not magically going to happen for you. At the end of the day, what I've built with Havina is a technology platform that helps make it easier, but we are a tool for sourcing those people and helping you find them. We can't develop the relationship for you. We can't, make someone else message you back. We can't help you we can help tell you what to send in that first message. But what you have to do, and the most important thing, is showing up. And so you have to show up, and you have to put yourself out there, and you have to make vulnerable moves and things where you could get hurt, and that's okay. That's part of adulthood, and that's part of life, as showing up and putting yourself out there and trying to help achieve your goals. At the end of the, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say, one of the analogies that my coach, Lauren Handel-Zander of the Handel Method, taught me was this concept of, it's like learning to play the guitar, right? And you're not offended that that's hard work. You're kind of challenged and excited that that's hard work. But then the more you play it, the more you build calluses. And that's what's happening every time you make an overture and take the risk of being rejected. Because, of course, nobody wants to be rejected. And that's what could happen if you make an overture, even online, right? People don't reach out as much as they could. But she points out that builds the callus. And the more you build the callus, the easier it is to just know if something's a match or not, and not be offended if it's not a match. You're shopping, right? You wouldn't be offended if you go shopping for a dress and you only see 3 that you like of the 100 in the store.
Exactly. And I think one of the most important things is not taking anything personal, because we are all showing up on our own journey and in different places in that journey. and have a lot of different things going on in our lives where someone not messaging you back isn't in commentary necessarily on who you are or what you're bringing to the table. It's more of a commentary about what the other person's going through in their life. And maybe they have family stuff going on, or maybe they have personal things that are happening with them. And so it's never, not taking it personal is one of the most important things. You know, it could be offending if I go and try 25 dresses on and none of them fit me, because that is, it is my own experience. You know, I'm not going to blame the dresses at the end of the day. And so really thinking specifically about how, you know, you're okay as a person, and whatever you have, as long as you're showing up and being kind and vulnerable and open to other people. Not everyone has to be a match, and it's okay to have a lot of loose connections and look for people that you really connect with on a deeper level, because it takes time to find those people.
Yeah, we talk about in the Building Fearless Friendships curriculum about different spheres, right? Your inner sphere, the next sphere out, and the much larger sphere. And we need all those spheres, right? Like, we have to fill a room. That's a different group than if we, you know, need someone to comfort us when our mother just died, right? It's just a different, it's a different grouping. So, and we don't think about those as porous, you know, or able to shift, right? You can shift a person in a sphere, you can shift a person out of sphere, and you actually have a lot of freedom and room in that regard. Okay. I love the partnership between what you do and what we do, because you stock the pool and then we teach you how to be vulnerable and tell the truth, and we couldn't agree more with the whole concept of don't take it personally, because then you can't, it's like taking it personally that it's hard to learn the guitar. You won't keep practicing, and you won't build the callus, and you won't get good at it. So I love that you make it easy, because if we mess it up on the first few, there's more.
There's more.
Exactly. I wish people would remember that. Okay. And then my last conception that I want to debunk is that you're kind of to the point I was just raising, that you're stuck with friends, right? I think a lot of people feel like I have to stay loyal to the people I already picked. I don't really have room for more. And also, because we stay loyal to people we picked, sometimes we feel kind of not that jazzed about friendships, because the friendships actually do feel stale or fake or not so great. So what advice do you have for people who feel stuck in that way?
Friendships are our most voluntary connection, and it's really important to keep that in mind. You're not stuck with anyone. You know, it is a really big deal when you break off a relationship with a romantic partner or with a family member, because those are really traumatic experiences. But one of the things that we know when it comes to friendship is that it's a voluntary position, and you can have people be, like you said, in a porous in the spheres. You can move people from proximity in and out, and we shouldn't be able to decide to stand for really bad treatment from people when it comes to toxic behaviors, people bringing too much drama into our lives. There's a wonderful woman, a journalist from The Cut, his name is Anne Friedman, developed a theory called Shine Theory, where we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most amount of time with.
I was just thinking that. That's perfect. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and so making sure that those people that you're spending time with are indeed ones that are adding to your life and helping you become the person that you want to be. You shouldn't be feeling like you're stuck with anyone who is bringing you down, is taking you down bad paths, isn't making you the person that is going towards whatever your goals may be. And that's really important, that we really make hard lines with our time and energy and effort.
Yeah. Curate. You can curate this group. I like that word, curate, right? It's very elegant, It's not like slice and dice and edit and delete, and it's just curate. You're creating something beautiful for yourself, and you get to curate it. I love it. What inspired you to do this particular meeting between health and technology? I know you've had many different ideas over time, but what was the inspiration behind this?
I grew up, with health and wellness top of mind in my family, and really, I've always cared about the relationships in our lives. And as I started to learn a lot more, and a lot more research actually started to come out, that there is a really deep tie in our health and wellness between our social health, and that's even a category that we can start thinking about, because that's not something that we've historically talked about in society. Research just came out that feeling lonely is the physiological equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's worse for us than sitting. It's worse for us than
that's amazing.
It's more likely to kill us than heart disease,
it's
or
literally a health hazard to not curate your friendships, folks.
It is, because and it's actually the number one predictor if people are going to survive big diseases like cancer or AIDS, or how long you'll live. And it's really interesting, and this data didn't exist before. It's really just starting to come out because we've had enough time to start looking at our relationships in our lives and how it actually factors into our health and well-being. And I feel like we get all this advice where, to have a healthy life, we need to drink, 8 glasses of water a day, walk 10,000 steps, sleep 8 hours, eat 2,000 calories. We've all these quantified metrics for what we need to do to live healthy lives. But no one has ever actually tried to quantify and figure out how much time do we need to be spending having vulnerable, meaningful conversation with people that we care about, face to face, eye to eye, in person, and how much time do we need to be investing into that? And so that's something I think that we'll be able to see come out in the future here.
And are you concerned about the role of technology in disrupting that possibility? Or I don't know, right? I'm someone who actually has a very easy time not looking at my phone, which I know I still really crave one-on-one interactions with people, and I get a lot of that in my work. But should we be concerned? Are you concerned with that? Was that one of your guiding reasons?
Yes and no. I mean, technology has always, when it comes to media, and now we have these media devices in our pockets. And so we all know, we've, had decades of people telling us it's not healthy to sit in front of the TV all day long and watch TV incessantly. But what we have is super customized TVs in our pockets with us every day that we interact with. And just keeping that in mind, that while there's a lot of utility to our devices, it's something that we also have the ability to spend a lot of time playing games or media or liking photos of people that we know or don't know even. And at the end of the day, it's not any different from sitting and watching the TV. So we need to be getting out and prioritizing time offline, or using our phones and devices as utilities, and the great utilities that they are. So Vina, we really try to keep, it's a fun and entertaining utility, but at the end of the day, we want it to be useful for you. And we've built an entire business around, not capitalizing and not forcing you to spend hours and hours in the app in order for us to serve you advertisements, so that way we can afford to survive. And so keeping that in mind when it comes to, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, these are ultimately, we call them social networking, but they aren't really networking. It's social media. And really keeping that in mind is going to help us remember that we can't be spending all of our days online. I recently installed the screen time app on my phone, and I limit my time on these social sites because I know that they can suck us in, because they're designed to, because they have thousands of people and millions and millions, billions of dollars stacked up in them, because they need that in order to survive from a business perspective. It's not a bad commentary on the platforms by any means, but it's keeping that awareness and understanding ourselves.
Well, it's the wellness concept, right? Like, sugar's out there, they want us to buy it, and you have to decide what the right amount is for you that's in what we would say in correlation to your dream, or in proportion to your dream, right? If your dream is to feel great and sleep wonderfully and, look great in your bathing suit, there's only a certain amount of sugar you can handle. And that same thing must be true about screen time. And you want to quantify that. I like how you're talking our language. Now, speaking of our language, I do want to talk to folks who realize that it's not just about friendships, but the intimacy. And you keep talking about the vulnerability in your friendships. Like, what is the thing that keeps people wanting to stay alive, wanting to be happy in life, wanting to go for their dreams, getting over hard times, facing their fears? It's not just having relationships, it's having quality relationships. And I just want to direct everybody to our free giveaways that you will see in the comments right now, because one thing Handel Group is so keen on, and again, why I thought we would make great partners, is because we teach the art of an honest conversation, specifically the steps of how to have a conversation that you feel a little awkward about. Like you don't know quite how to say, I knew your ex-boyfriend, or I don't want to go to that concert actually, or, you never gave me back my sweater, or I don't want to go to your birthday, or whatever it is. So we have specific steps and tools for that. If you guys haven't, if you're listening, watching, you haven't gotten that download for the free tips on how to have a difficult conversation, download it now, please. And if you're interested in Handel Group coaching in general, if you haven't checked us out before and you want to know more about what we do, we give free phone consultations. So the link is also below for that. And I also want to tell you how to find out more about Hey Vina. You can go to heyvina.com. You can check out the Instagram, Vinazine on Instagram, or Hey Olivia June on Instagram as well.
Hey Olivia June, that's me. I share my own personal friendship tips and
nice.
Life hacks and whatever, my own personal journey with friendships and people that I admire. And really, I try to make it resourceful.
Amazing. Anything else you want to direct people's attention to before we say goodbye?
The Hey Vina app is available for free download on the iTunes App Store or Apple App Store and on the Google Play Store.
There's nothing to lose, people. Only things to gain. Fabulous. Olivia June, thank you so much for creating Hey Vina and for talking about it and for inspiring us with facts, figures, and insights that should help free people up a little bit, hopefully emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, about going out and looking for new friends, deepening the quality of your friends, culling your friends if necessary, but essentially designing your life in this particular area. Thanks for debunking our dumbass theories. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you. Have a good day.